Alright, guys, we're here for another cast here. Oh, that's a lot of mini launchers. That's a lot of mini launchers right there. Hopefully this subtle music finishes up. But here, spawning in the top right, it'll be none other than our epic Protoss buddy DragOn, and his opponent will be his clan teammate from LRM. It will be Pike, which will be, I think it's Pike. Yeah. I just got the color mixed up. My bad. But yep. And if you, as you can tell though, that there's a lot of LRM people in here, and like Disturb Minds noise in there. I don't know why DM noise is in there, but I think it's just like a practice match or like a show match between these players. I don't really. That's what probably the origin of this replay comes from. It is on Jade. I don't think I'm gonna cast all these guys. This replay pack is 99.5% fighting spirit, and I'm not even joking. Like, I was going through, you could just like if you select a replay and then you just use the arrow keys, you can quickly just view what the maps are on. And I was trying to find ones that weren't fighting spirit because I just got 4 games I'm just strict on fighting spirit. And I quite honestly, I didn't want to Protoss. Well, I didn't want Protoss versus Terran again. PvP is okay. I just got to the point where I'm like, I do not want to deal with fighting spirit at all. And I could not read what they're saying. Something about sex, that's all I saw. Yeah, like a 6-year-old, something 6-year-old, that's all. That's really all I could see, but I think I'm taking that out of context, if anything. So Jade's kind of like a reverse fighting spirit in some regard, which makes it a little bit more of a blander map, in my opinion. But why I say that is you have a reverse ramp, pretty easy choke point to hold off, and then very much like fighting spirit, you actually have this like area outside your natural, which is kind of like your ramp, but it's a lot bigger. And then your third, very much like fighting spirit, you only have a reverse ramp. So theoretically, the same premise you could take on to fighting spirit can be applied to this map. Meaning, for Terran, well, I'll just use Terran as an example. Terran can take and expand and sit up 2 base, then siege up over here, and it's a huge area, and he has a high ground, keep in mind. And then you have your third, and then you just wall it off, and then you have a third base. The ramp is definitely bigger than fighting spirit, but the same premise, same idea can be applied to this. So Protoss versus Zork, he did go hatch before pool. That must have been a 9 pool. Yeah, that must have been a 9 pool coming from Pike. It's an econ style 9 pool though. He turned up behind it. I might have been wrong. That could have been. He knows what it was. But we're probably gonna see a far off third base. Yeah, there it is. And again, like I don't see the logic in taking that base to be completely honest, because that's actually just closer to your opponent than it actually is. So you're actually just putting yourself in further. Like there's like I can't see the reason behind it, because, well, actually I can. Me personally, I wouldn't take that base, because if you look at it this way, you have if your main base, sorry, my parents are talking. Say my brother. You have a reverse ramp. If you take this base, you get another main base if you can hold off. But that's if you can hold off and you're expanding to your opponent, which I've been told a whole bunch of things about this. Like, one, sometimes Zergs want to expand to Protoss so you can rally units faster. That makes sense. Also you can secure it. You get a free main base behind it as well, because you're walling. You're already doing SimCity at that front door anyway, so you don't actually have to worry about any kind of like front door attack. I mean, there's drop play of course, but Protoss don't tend to do that as much. But I think it's just too big of a risk. You're expanding to your opponent, and if they just get like a 3-gate zealot push going, or just a couple zealots, like, you're done. That base is done. But I can't help. And I just think with DragOn, I think he's just gonna have a very smart, decisive, attack to do that kind of thing, and if that makes any kind of sense. We have Stargate coming up, and it's getting Citadel with us. So the things are looking very, very standard for Forge FE right here. He's not getting +1, which may identify a +1 on the air, but he hasn't started neither. So that, or he's gonna tech into something with the Citadel, maybe. I may go for a faster Templar Archives, because you normally get because you have to get more gas for something. So okay, he's getting a +1 for the air. Okay. It's not a bad thing. So we have the macro hatch coming down at the national, probably one eventually coming at the 3rd as well. 1 to help out with the SimCity. 2, he might go for like 5 hatch Hydra again, or not. I would say again, and I never said it, but Zergs tend to get like 3 base into 5 hatch Hydra, and they go down the other hatchery right there. My brother's getting really mad at me. I feel really bad. I'm casting downstairs where he lives, so. Alright, anyway, so do we see a second Stargate going down? No, we're just gonna see Templar. So he's actually gonna do a lot of tech right now. He's actually getting +1 with Corsair, but he's not getting a double Corsair. Double Corsair is a little bit more, you're not gonna have as high of a gateway tech, and it kind of hurts your tech in general, so he doesn't want to do that. So he's gonna poke in with these Corsair. Will it do enough damage? It's a nice opener. I really like the +1 Corsair opening personally. I think it provides a lot more. You can kill stuff a lot quicker, and even if they're wants to invest in wants to invest in like anti-Corsair stuff. If you get up 5 Corsair, I believe 5 Corsair is the magic number to stop any kind of Scourge play, and not only that. You can kill off Overlords that much quicker if you have like 5 Corsair with +1. You can just go in there, ransack the base. We have DTs coming the way, very much like what DragOn loves to do. He loves to get these DTs. At least what we saw in the Terran versus Protoss match between Busy. Gotta say, I already forgot the person's name. I was like, I just casted that for about probably at least 45 minutes, probably an hour. Probably those games were probably like an hour and a half of casting right there, but what have you. Alright, so we're getting more gauge right now. Now let's look at the Harvester's tab here. Is this gonna be like a Black Dragon Flash kind of thing, where he drones up really hard? Like, again, I'm referencing Black Dragon, and you probably have no idea who I'm talking about. Alright, no, I hate this sometimes. Because it gets spectators too. Okay, DragOn. Alright, so 44 to 36, so, Zerg is playing a bit more standard. He's not droning up really hard. That's a style that, I think a way to beat DragOn is probably just drone to some degree. He's definitely more of a I feel like he's definitely more of a harassment-based player. He's a very smart player, but like in the early mid game, this DragOn prefers, I feel like he likes to get that DT, see if he can do some damage, which that didn't do anything. But he did scout that there was a 3rd base, if that really mattered, and there's a nice SimCity, and he has Overlord speed. So that DT may have been worth it in the information he got, but he's a player that likes to kind of passively aggressive. Like Corsair, they're not gonna attack an army here. So if you can defend well but drone up well, I feel like you might be in a better position here. But that's just only my input. I could be completely wrong. Feel free to disagree. Agree to disagree. How about that? And damn it, I forgot to grab my water bottle from upstairs. Oh well, I'll just finish it up after this cast. But I have a feeling we're probably gonna be in for another macro game because this was in a replay series. It's actually kind of funny because where I got this, I actually just refreshed the tab because I was seeing if I got a PM. I occasionally check for PMs probably once a day. So someone would contact me about a cast or something like that. It's happened once or twice. And it just happened to be I was refreshing the page where I downloaded this replay pack from, and they added 2 more of South Park. I think it was just South Park, yeah. And a Noobs player. I forget. But this is about a Corsair though. He can just go in there and ransack stuff. Okay, wow, we had an engagement happening here. Nice defensive storm here. Does he have enough for another one? He does. The forge is done though. That +2 is gonna have to stop. Please cancel it. Okay, there you go. Oh, those zealots, man, want to be heroes, but they don't want to be. Alright, that should be more. Oh, that's a lot of Hydra actually. I didn't see the ones off screen right there. Oh man. That is gonna hurt a lot. That was actually a nice storm dodge though. That was, he kind of went like diagonally down, which was probably the best way to dodge that. I mean, of course he still hit, he still killed off like 3 Hydra, but that would have been a lot worse if he didn't dodge that correctly. Oh man. Those 2 hero zealots again. Johnny, what are you doing? Johnny the zealot. Oh, he actually stormed part of his own army right there. But again, that's nice storm dodging right there. Probably another storm would probably finish up that army. But he has this whole other like Hydra back here. But I don't know what we can see here. DragOn is struggling to push out of here right now. I think eventually when he gets up, I think he's up at 5 gates, probably speaking right now. I want to say he's up at 5 gates. Can double check that too. I forgot I have this ability. He's up at 6 gates, so not terrible. And looks like Zerg has re-expanded. He's gonna put down 2 macro hatches down here. So he's probably gonna want to definitely commit to the Hydra, and this is what a high level Zerg will do. They'll keep their Hydra alive. And if you go back to Clan League and watch some Zerg versus Protoss, this happened. This is like Zerg will tend to lose a lot of time in Clan League, or at least against the caster, because it's just like 3 baller storms. But Pike gets storm dodge effectively. He's pushed back with realizing like, well, I can't really engage this effectively. And at the point where you might have 15 Hydra, he now has 33 Hydra. He's about twice as many as what I'm probably used to seeing at this point in the game. And again, that's just strictly because the awareness of that is like he can't break through this right now. That Protoss army is huge. It's 90 supply down to like 137. Now 10 of which supply is like in probes, 15 actually, and Protoss definitely has a higher cost, or higher supply, I think. So, but again, that's kind of going back to the point where I said like maybe you should just better drone up, because I don't think DragOn's gonna push out until he's probably at least 200. And again, I'm trying to go on my way to try to like share my opinion, but I could be completely wrong again. But I still think droning up right now would probably be the smartest idea. I mean, he's taking a 4th base. That is absolutely fantastic. But have you noticed that there really hasn't been that much aggression from DragOn? I mean, he sent over a DT. He didn't fully invest in them. He was smart about it, and the DT didn't do too much. He didn't commit to them too hard, but he tried it out, and that's really great. The Corsair, I haven't actually seen them. Okay, there they are. One of them has 5 kills, but otherwise, I think I just kept on clicking the same one. So you set up like 5 overlords with them. I mean, with +1, these guys can continue to be really, really big of a nuisance right here. But I mean, again, like it's Corsair, like it's just a given aggression anyway in Protoss versus Zerg rather. So that being said, DragOn really hasn't shown like trademark aggressive capabilities here, like other than his like occasional DT. But I mean, that's just a good player anyway, by just like tech switching to DT, seeing if he can do some damage. It's like 125 to do some insane amount of damage. So if it works, you commit to them. If it doesn't work, then it's like a small investment, because you get that Templar Archives. Like he didn't like quick tech into it. Well, he got like a quicker Templar Archives to get like 1 DT out, but it wasn't like so fast that it was like, oh, it's absolutely worthless for the next 3 minutes. Like he could get Storm right here. Alright, so the Lurkers do have a nice spread, so Storm's not going to be much of an issue on these guys. He's going to get the best spread on his Hydra so he can get the best concave here, but I don't know. That's a lot of Protoss. That's a lot of Protoss with +2 and a lot of Zerg that only has +2 Carapace, so we'll see here. But upgrades kind of negate each other, but here we go. Goons are not terrible against Lurkers, and they're kind of just going right through that. And Pike's having a little bit of a difficult time here. It's so Dragoon heavy, and he's so Hydra heavy, which these guys are going to make the Hydra, definitely micro around, especially microing around the storms right here. So, and a lot of Zerg just end up just like A-moving anyway, but this guy's actually microing, which is kind of nice. But that was pretty one-sided, and again, DragOn's just really having some really good engagements here. He has like the perfect unit composition too. Like oh, I have Dragoons. I mean, it's like the meat of the Protoss army. and they're not like terrible against Hydra, but Hydra will probably end up beating Dragoons anyway with their faster attack rate, and they just do higher DPS in general. Not only that, Dragoons don't do their full damage to them, and thirdly, but I think we need a lot of Lings coming out, but he's still going so Hydra heavy, which again is like okay, but Lings would probably be optimal here. But that is just so many goons. That is 28 Dragoons. Like, that is mass Dragoon right there. If you want to mass when you win as Protoss, do Dragoon. It's probably the best thing to... And, again, like, he's not really worrying about any kind of Lings right now. And look at that. That's what happens when you go Hydra. No, I'm only kidding. But, DragOn's, you know, engagements have been top of the line right here. We may... I think we're up for, like, one more engagement. I think he's going to try to do... Okay, he's trying to transition to Lings now, which again are the hard counter to Dragoons. But the problem though is like there's an Archon there. It's only one, but it's still a Archon that is doing 36 damage in splash. And I believe I'm not sure if they do their full damage to Lings. They don't one hit Lings. I know that. But anyway, this hatchery is going down for sure. But the problem is like these Lings are gonna be really, really hard. We need more reinforcements over here. And it's not even that many Lings. He only has 35 Lings out. I mean, literally, there's more units in the Protoss army than 35 units. So, you know, that being said, he's just gonna go for a counter push here, a base for base scenario here. But a 3-base Protoss is not bad. A 4-base Protoss is much more better. But a 2-base Zerg versus a 3-base Protoss is unless like you're microing intensively with Mutalisks like sub 8 minutes in the game, it's not gonna really matter. Meaning, like, I'm referencing, like, if someone did a 3 Nexus build and you didn't, like, and you went, like, 3 hatch Mutalisks off a 2 base. Like, that's what I'm referencing. So now these Overlords are gonna have the time, these Corsairs are gonna have the time of their lives. Like, oh, I'm gonna send off some Overlords. I wonder what the life of a Corsair would actually end up being, though, because... Think about it, it's like, you're in, like, your little, like, starship thing. It's like, all you're doing is, like, killing off these, like, big, floating, like, things I don't even know, like big cows, like floating cows that poop everywhere. They poop. Oh, well, that's a nice transfer, but or nice attack command. But yeah, 9 drones were killed. This is slowly just going into DragOn's favor, and you know it's kind of hard to. It's just like at this point, DragOn's just so good. I mean, his engagements haven't really been terrible. You know, he's put himself in really good positions here. I mean, naturally speaking, you're going to put yourself into a choke point. But, I mean, like, Pike engaged into a choke point when he was kind of forced into that. And, like, that's, you know, benefit. And Pike hasn't really done much, something super wrong this game. I mean, he smartly killed off this 4th base, which will definitely put the hurt on Protoss, as he's mined out. So it's only off of 1 base. But he still has no direct answer to this Protoss army, and he has no direct answer to another base. He has this base coming up here, but he's going to be mined out eventually. He has an Ultra Transition, but can you afford that only off a 2 base? I think the quick answer is no, especially with this drone saturation so far. It's 33 to 69. I'd assume you probably run at least 50 drones for Zerg at this point in time, but we're just not seeing it. But DragOn, man, he's a great player. Alright, so this army's going to be pushing across to the natural expansion here. And one lone Ultralisk will try to engage us, but will not work. And we have push coming up here. He may get this. Yeah, he's going to get this. Unless there's a DT in there, and then he might not get it, but... Again, like, there's a GG. I was gonna say, like, doesn't matter because there's still there's another base up there. It was one of the mining bases, though, so it was smart what Pike had in mind. It was just, he was so far behind, I don't think it really mattered. I think it was a lost cause, but fun game on Jade regardless. Oh. And again, this isn't like a series or anything, so this is just a random cast of mine. So, I'll go try to find, I think it's Dual versus DragOn, so that'll be actually a good game. Dual's an amazing player, and I'll be actually with that Protoss versus Azure. But no, protest versus protest actually. That would be PvP. It's gone Gladiator. So guys, thanks for watching again. Subscribe to our videos if you like them. Right now we're just doing random casts up till like Saturday when stuff starts picking up again for casting, and up to that point, guys, we're just gonna continue doing these random replays. And guys, thanks for watching again.